Now it was after Sabbath, at dawn, on the first day of the week. And Mary Magdalene and the other Mary were going down to look at the tomb. And suddenly there was a great earthquake, and an angel from heaven came down, and going to the stone, rolled the stone away and sat on it. And the guards that were there, guarding the tomb, were so afraid they began to shake, and they shook, and then they were like dead men. And the angel of the Lord said to the women, "Do not be afraid. I know that you are here looking for Jesus who was crucified. But he is not here. He has risen, just as he said. Come and look where he is laid. And then quickly and go into the city and tell Jesus' disciples that he is not dead, but that he has risen from the dead, just as he said. And he goes before you into Galilee, and that is where you will see him." And then the women began to run back into the city, afraid but full of joy, as they went to tell the disciples about Jesus. Now, it was on the last day of the week, on Sunday, right as the sun was rising, that Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to go look at the tomb. And on their way there, a great tornado started to take place. For an angel of heaven came down, and going to the stone, rolled the stone away and stood on it and did a little jig. And he sat down. And the guards that were guarding it were so afraid that they shook, and then they took off running. And the angel of the Lord said to the women, "Do not be afraid. For I know that you are looking for Paul and John and all the other disciples." No. He says, "I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here, but he has risen, and he's gone straight to heaven." No. He has risen. Come and look where he lay. And then quickly go and tell the disciples that he has risen just as he said. For Jesus is not in Galilee, and he's not in Samaria, he's in heaven. No. He says Jesus goes before you into Galilee, and that is where you will meet him. And the women began to slothfully walk into the city because they were so bored by the whole scene. No. They ran into the city full of fear and joy as they ran to tell the disciples about Jesus.